All right, Coach. Coming off a really impressive win against a team that had some really good personnel on defense. I mean, what kind of led to just this kind of a letdown for you guys against Augie?
Well, I mean, Augie's a bigger team. I mean, just physically, they're much bigger on the line of scrimmage than what we are. So they were able to dominate that side of the football in terms of offensively. We couldn't really get our run game established, and we got some pressure on our quarterback, and so we were just kind of got ourselves out of sync all game. And defensively, you know, we did some good things at times, and they gave us some different formations that kind of mess with our reads a little bit. And you know, with a group of young guys, it's harder to anticipate how we should be playing something because they don't have any experience to draw on, and they were able to take advantage of that.
Are there any positives you could take out of it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've got a lot of guys that got a lot of playing time. I mean, I think that's really good as youthful as we are. When things were basic in terms of we saw normal formations, I thought we did a pretty good job. You know, defensively, we were really good on third down, held them to about 30%. So I think there's some definite positives there. We didn't the negatives. We didn't get turnovers. We gave up too many explosive plays. I think we gave up 8 explosive plays. That kind of hurt us, and there was about a 6-minute span there where they were able to get 3 big touchdown plays back to back that really kind of put us back on the ropes after we'd finally kind of settled in and gotten some consistent play and started to get back on track, and that kind of got us in trouble there. And offensively, we just couldn't really get into rhythm. We took advantage of a block punt. Short field position, we were able to get down there and score a touchdown there in the early in the first half. But after that, we just weren't really able to consistently do the things on offense that we need to do to try to control a football game.
Outside of your first year here, where there was a pretty solid amount of veteran players, pretty much there's been a lot of young players that you've asked a lot of. This year's team, do you feel like they've made like the most positive impact than others?
Yeah, I think you know, the young guys that we have playing, they're every play that they're in on, they're learning from. So a number of those explosive plays that went against us on defense, there was an error by a true freshman that caused that, and you know, it's bad that we gave up a big explosive play, but it's good that the young guys have to be able to do that to learn from it. Unfortunately, when you're playing as many young guys, you don't have that supporting cast around them to kind of help them through some of those stormy waters. So that's where we kind of go up and down a little bit. Where when we play a really good team, you know, their big plays can hurt us. When we play teams that we match up well with, we have a better chance to withstand some of those mistakes as we're learning, trying to grow. But you know, we keep this group of guys together. You know, 2-3 years from now, I think there's all those things that they're learning now are going to pay off big time dividends for us down the road.
So no long road trip this weekend. You're home, but you get Moorhead coming to town. Can you tell us about that matchup? What you know about them?
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of similar to us, been a little bit up and down. They've won some games, lost some games. You know, I think we match up better personnel-wise with them than we do, say, with Augie or Winona or some of those other bigger teams. You know, they traditionally like to throw the football quite a bit. They've against Southwest this last week in their win, they kind of got into more of a running game. Brought in another quarterback to try to execute that game. So I think they're still trying to find what's going to work for them, so they can do some things consistently. But we'll see. I mean, this league has got so much parity this year. You never really know what's going to happen until the Saturdays are over.
How much different is it to prepare for a team who wants to throw it compared to the rest of the conference who kind of just wants to run it down your throat?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the back of their minds, I think they'd like to be able to establish their run game. I think they've got more skilled players than they have big players, so they have to throw the ball to have a little bit more success. And you can see when they're facing adversity that's kind of what they'll end up going to. I think the good thing for us is we match up a little bit better with speed than we do with big power type teams. So it'll be a completely different game plan than we probably had last week. We haven't even got to that point. Still trying to get through their 169 pass plays in the last 4 weeks. But I think our guys have a lot of confidence in playing teams that like to spread you out. I think that's the one area that we can match up pretty well with. Instead of a team that likes to go with two tight ends and just try to pound you like what we just faced last week or a couple weeks ago against Winona. So it'll be good. The guys are, I mean, they're pretty quick with their 24 hours of feeling bad about a loss and being able to bounce back.
Levante Bushnell is one receiving touchdown away from breaking the D2 record here. What kind does he mean to your program?
Yeah, I mean, Vontae's is definitely one of those kids that that not only do we know his importance, but I think across the league they know as far as our offensive weapons, that's probably our biggest threat down the field. This year we finally started to establish some others to try to take a little bit of pressure off of him, but you know, he's made some big time catches for us, not just this year, but the 3 years that I've been here and even the year before I was here. But he gives us that that electricity down the field, whether it's a vertical push or some of those underneath routes where he can catch and run and do some special things like that. And you know, obviously Ben's found him quite a bit this year, and I think that gives Ben a security blanket, you know, of where he wants to go in terms of whether he's trying to make a big play or if he gets himself into trouble, and know that Vontae's a guy that he can rely on to get the football. He's going to make a catch and do some good things for us.